Hello and welcome in, Magic learners, Magic players. Travis here, much love, bringing you Living End versus ELDRAZI. Make sure to check out yesterday's deck tech. Tomorrow we'll be back with live match playthroughs, but today we're going to do a recap against ELDRAZI. So I got paired against ELDRAZI during Tuesday's stream, 4 to 6 p.m. live stream. Make sure to check that out. And thought that this would be perfect to replay to show you that ELDRAZI is certainly beatable. This is a deck that is probably going to remain top tier until Eye of Ugin is banned. However, in the meantime, we just need to warp around it and try to beat it. And Living End is actually a deck that can do that because it's got the sweepers, it's got the tempo to make things happen. So I'll show you how this match can go. Opponent leads with ELDRAZI Mimic off of Temple, which is an acceptable draw. Lead with Stomping Ground here. And here's a Matter Reshaper, so not a bad draw from the opponent. Knocks us to 17, not necessarily perfect either. And here's the opponent coming down with a Thought-Knot Seer. So this is a pretty good ELDRAZI start that is going to beat a lot of decks, right? It doesn't have the Matter, it doesn't have the turn 3 Reality Smasher, but that would be even more beatable. So in response, we cycle our Jungle Weaver, the opponent takes our Outburst, and we're flooded as hell. Like, this isn't really great, but just using Violent Outburst instead of Demonic Dread could have gone with Outburst, and that might have been better. I was narrating and speaking with the audience, or it could be that Demonic Dread is going to be useful later for target creature can't block. Either way, it's a minor note, and we did reverse the board. Jungle Weaver can hold off so much by itself. There's a draw on our main deck Ingot Chewer because there's relics and such, and go ahead and throw down Simian Spirit Guide. Okay. And fortunately, the opponent actually drew Ingot Chewer. Note that our draw this game is really not very good. We've drawn 3, 4, 5. We've drawn 8 lands and not very many non-lands, right? This is not really a great Living End draw, and it's a pretty solid ELDRAZI draw, and this is enough. So the opponent turns Matter Reshaper into another Thought-Knot Seer, which they use, and take our Demonic Dread, which we didn't really want anyways. Great draw of Pale Recluse, so we can get down a 4-5, and we're safe to attack. Pale Recluse, I think, is better than Valley Rabbit. I still really like it. It's got reach for the Nexus, it can block Thought-Knot, and it's fine against Reality Smasher because it double blocks well with anything. So the opponent, on their turn, they play Chalice on 3, which is obviously wrong. Chalice should go on 0 for Living End, but at this point it doesn't matter, so we can make fun of them, but it doesn't really make a difference. So we can get in, and there's Monstrous Carabid, which I'm normally not a huge fan of because it has to attack into Endless 1, and that's game 1. So let's go ahead. By the way, Magic Online's all twisted. It's all out of order, so we need to replay them in order, out of order. It doesn't go 1, 2, 3 on Magic Online. It's busted. So there's game 1. Let's take a look at game 2 here. Opponent with the crazy start. Oh, I skipped through my mulligan, but it wasn't a good one. And we could have mulliganed again, gone to 5. I think we maybe should have. So if we lose this game, that's probably why. Or has something to do with it. But pretty scripted start from the opponent. Really good start from the opponent. So I could go Shriekmaw to try to stabilize, but my thinking was we're only going to win this game with Violent Outburst or Demonic Dread. There's no other way, so we need to just take our lumps and cycle and hope to get there. But note that if we do get there, we're in pretty decent shape, just like last game, but we bricked, and it was that quick. I could have won this game by just not keeping that 6-card hand, is really what it came down to. I could have gone to 5, or I think the 7 might have been better. So, yeah, you can lose. That was just a bad keep on my part. But we got to play game 3, so let's check it out. Okay. This is a good hand. It's got 3 Weavers. Weaver's great in this matchup. It's just a big booty blocker, big booty blocker. Ooh! Another crazy start from the opponent. got a note. There's a Pale Recluse, which is good because we can guarantee our third land. Opponent comes in for 4 and plays a Relic. Now, Relic is beatable by itself, and it's not really as great in ELDRAZI as you would think, because unless they have an Ugin, unless they have an Urborg, Eye of Ugin is not going to tap for mana, so note that they can't even use Relic right now. So I'm going to go ahead and crack Verdant Catacombs. They Relic, and Verdant gets removed, sure. Go ahead and Pale Recluse for a land. Untap, and look, they have Relic, but they don't have the mana. They might have Simian Spirit Guide, but it's not really a big deal. So, not the greatest, but why not reverse the board at 13? We have another Outburst, and here's another reason why Relic is beatable, more beatable than Chalice. If they Relic, they're exiling their own stuff. Although, by the way, one of the reasons why Living End is better against this deck is because Endless One sucks coming back into play as a 0/0. So we can afford to Living End multiple times, as we will see this match. So there's a Thought-Knot Seer. Opponent takes our Outburst, exiles our thing. They've got mana up to double Temple, or to exile with Relic, and I decide to wait. So we've got a few multiple game plans. One of them is, and that gets exiled. One of them is to just cast Spiders and try to win. Although, check it out, we've got the opponent, now, here's an interesting thing. The opponent could keep Relic up, but we've got nothing in our graveyard. In order to keep Relic up, they would have to play a 4/4 Endless One, and Pale Recluse would still dominate this board. So, rather than wait, I think it may be correct for the opponent to go for the 6/6 Endless One here, but it exposes them for a turn because they don't seem to have Simian Spirit Guide, and they're not going to be able to Relic. So, what I end up doing is cycling the Jungle Weaver, and there's Ingot Chewer to break up the Relic. So there's a few things we could do here. We could tap 5, there's a lot of ways to win, choose your own adventure. Tap 5 mana, play Ingot Chewer, blow up Relic. Or we could evoke Ingot Chewer and Fulminator the Eldrazi Temple. But I'm taking a look at this board, and I'm concerned. I mean, if we cast the Ingot Chewer, we can double block the Endless One. But if the opponent has another Fatty or a Reality Smasher, we're in some serious trouble. So I decided to go for the win right here. Now, it's worth noting the opponent calls us lucky at this point. If we play Ingot Chewer, we cannot get lucky. If we play Fulminator Mage and Ingot Chewer, or we cannot get lucky. The only way to get lucky is to cycle Jungle Weaver. So, in Magic and in life, many ways we create our own opportunities. You create your own luck. What looks like luck, other people didn't even have an opportunity for. So I went for the cycle Jungle Weaver to make an opportunity. If we brick, we can still evoke Ingot Chewer to take out the Relic. Or we can play Fulminator Mage, but I went for a play that has a chance of winning us the game right now. And hey, we got lucky, but again, if I didn't even make that play, and the downside is not so high either, because we can always just blow up the Relic. I decided to attack, but the upside is win the game on the spot, so I made my own luck here, and it paid off. And Endless One is not so good coming back. Right, opponent has 2 Endless Ones to come back, not very good. And the opponent goes and taps and plays another 6/6 Endless One. And let's go ahead and double block, triple block, untap. And at this point, we could go either cast an Ingot Chewer or cast a Fulminator, or Fulminator and Ingot. Either way works. I decided to cast Ingot Chewer because I thought it would be better to have a 3/3 body in play. Its game's getting increasingly, easier as that happens. So the opponent attacked with Endless One. I traded off another Jungle Weaver, and I went ahead and they went ahead and played 2 Matter Reshapers. So let's skip forward another turn. Cycling the Pale Recluse, get a land, get a Fulminator Mage, blow up the opponent's mana while we can, leaving Eye of Ugin because they likely, from how they played, have a second Eye of Ugin in hand, if not a third. So we want to leave them stranded on that. And then cycling the Deadshot, and at this point we just went off with the Deadshots. Why not? If we cast Demonic Dread, we're getting 3 Deadshots, a Fulminator, a Recluse, 2 Weavers, and a second Recluse. and they're getting back an Endless One and a Thought-Knot Seer, so either way works. It's, again, choose your own adventure. We could probably win by just attacking with the Jungle Weaver, but let's make this board and go the fuck off. So, bam, did it. So, again, that was a 3-game match. I threw away the second game with a horrible keep. I don't think that matchup is necessarily super easy, but it's definitely winnable. If not favored. So make sure to check out the deck list in the last match, the deck tech. And for those of you who want to build or get better at building awesome decks like this, make sure to check out the ebook. Got a link to that below in the description. So much love, and see you back tomorrow for a live match playthrough. Cheers.